Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and in today's video we are going to be going over the top 10 hot takes I have with European cars. We did it with just cars in general, then we did it with JDM cars. Now we're going to do it with European. Obviously we'll probably do American next, but I feel like this is a fun little series, man, talking about some unpopular opinions. Also, for those who don't know, that's what hot takes are. They're unpopular opinions that I have that the rest of the community most likely doesn't. That's not me saying that the rest of the community is not going to have them. There are obviously a couple of these that you might agree with. You might agree with all of them, and to that I say salute. You know, we're two peas in a pod. Also, for those who are like, man, Mark has kind of been missing some uploads lately. What's going on with that, man? Does he not like us anymore? Does he hate us? Does he want to shoot us? Does he want to commit crimes against us? No, that's not the case, guys. It's unfortunately this little bad boy right here. A boom shakalaka, yeah, Black Ops 6. I've been playing a lot of Black Ops 6. I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun, and it's really bad. It's kind of like an addiction almost, because like when I'm not playing it, I'm like, wow, I really wish I could play some Black Ops 6 right now. But then when I am playing it, I'm like, I really don't want to be playing Black Ops 6 right now. And it's probably not the best thing to be doing to myself. But yeah, that's it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's the reason I've been missing some uploads lately. I am engulfed in this game. It's a lot of fun. But without further ado, though, let's get right into it with number 10. And that is that modern BMWs are still very cool cars. Give or take a couple of exceptions there, partner, okay? Because here's the thing, I feel like everybody nowadays is all like, oh my god, BMW has gone so downhill, they suck now, BMWs are butt cheeks, man. BMW, I would rather drive an eyeball than drive a BMW, they're so bad. I disagree. There are so many modern BMWs that I would love to own. A G82 M4, G80 M3, F13 6 Series, F82 M4. I'm literally thinking about buying one. I am this close. You can't see me right now, but trust me, those fingers are close together. I am this close to buying an F82 M4. I want one so bad. 340i. Like, there are a lot of really cool platforms that BMW still makes. Do they make bad platforms now? Absolutely, but it's not like they didn't make bad platforms back then too, okay? They had some misses. Like, everybody loves them, but let's be real, there was a lot of cars back then that BMW was making that weren't the best. For example, the first one that pops into my mind is the E38. The E38 was a massively overpriced pile of unreliable junk, okay? I'm sorry to say it, but it was. The E38 7 Series was not a good car, okay? They had some bad cars back then too, and sure, the new like 5 Series, for example, sucks. Like, yeah, that car's, there's no denying it, but they still have the G87 M2 and the G82 M4, the G80 M3. Unfortunately, they haven't made a 6 Series in quite some time, but still, they have cool cars. Ninth place, I actually don't think is too much of a hot take, to be honest, because it's rally racing is much more cooler than drag racing. The only reason why I say it's kind of a hot take is because I'm an American, obviously, and chances are you are an American too if you're watching this video. So the rest of the community might not agree with that, but I do think my specific community will agree with me on that, if that makes any sense. I feel like you guys like rally racing more than drag racing, but the majority of American car enthusiasts would disagree with that statement. And to me, I don't know, man, I can't see it. I've gone to drag events plenty of times. We have 3 drag strips like within an hour of me, so I go there all the time. Especially growing up, my dad loved it, so I was going there all the time, and it's really cool. Like, it's still a very cool, enjoyable thing. I'm not saying that drag racing sucks. It does not at all. I think people, as a matter of fact, I think people that aren't American hate on it too much. It actually is a very cool form of motorsports. The sounds are amazing, the smells are amazing, the cars are amazing, but rally racing is just that much better. 8th place is another one that I feel like the majority of you guys won't disagree on, but again, the rest of the community that doesn't really follow Mark Roden would probably disagree on, and that is that Mercedes, if Mercedes still had manuals, they would be 10 times cooler. I feel like nowadays we are straying further and further and further and further away from the whole manuals are better than automatics thing, and it's really pains me. I see so many comments now of people trying to and it's not even just trying to defend it. They'll get like more likes than the people defending manuals, and because they'll say something like, oh well, it's faster. Okay, but there's a Joe Rogan, right? I'm not saying I love Joe Rogan. I do like Joe Rogan, though. I like his podcast. I think he's hilarious. But I'm not saying that. But either way, Joe Rogan bought a Porsche 911 GT3 RS, and they asked him why he bought it in manual instead of DCT. And he answered and said, because I bought the car to drive it, not to be the fastest on the track. I know I'm not the fastest, I just want to drive a car and enjoy it. And that's exactly how we are with manuals, but the rest of the community I feel like doesn't really see that anymore, and they're going away from that, and it hurts. It hurts so bad. And Mercedes is one of the first brands where they just completely dropped manuals 100% out of their lineup, and to me, that's why I dislike Mercedes so much. I can't support a brand that does that. If they don't have a manual, it's not for me. Coming in at 7th place, however, and this is definitely a hot take. This is, I mean, obviously, we're getting into the hotter and hotter takes as the list goes on, but, like, if those other takes were, like, 70-degree weather takes, like, it was not really the hottest take out there, but you definitely are going to be wearing some shorts and short sleeves, then this is more like an 80-degree take. Like, you're going to be walking around everywhere with a water bottle on you just in case, because that is that the E36 is my least favorite M3. I'm sorry, but I really would much rather own any M3 other than an E36. Let's go over them real quick. E30, obviously, it's a freaking racing motorsport legend. I think if somebody put a gun to my head and made me choose between an R32 GTR and an E30 M3, I would just be like, you know what, just shoot me. I don't know what to choose there. Those are both amazing cars. But then you got the E36, and it's like, yeah, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. And then you got the E46. I love the E46. The motor S54. Oh, give me that motor. Give me that motor in every single one of my cars I ever own for the rest of my life. Next, you got the M3E92. Sure, it's unreliable, but if somebody's going to give it to me, partner, I would like it. And then you got the F80. I love the F80. It's actually my favorite M3. I know it's a hot take, but it is. And then you got the G80 M3. And I love the G80 M3. Don't like the grills. Still haven't grown on me. But yeah, the E36 to me just doesn't do it. I love the car. It's still a great car, but it's my least favorite of the M3s. 6th place. Oh, lordy. I'm going to make a lot of people mad because a lot of people own these. Volkswagen has fallen off very hard. I'm sorry. As a matter of fact, though, I will say this. I think Volkswagen, in their homeland of Germany, is still doing pretty good because of one car, and one car in particular, the Polo GTI. I think if we had the Polo over in America, I would like them a lot more. But as of right now, Volkswagen has literally nothing except for the Golf R that I find cool. Even the GTI, to me, it makes no sense to purchase. It is a very, I'm sorry to say this because I know a lot of people own GTIs, and I'm going to make a lot of people mad when I say this, but it is a very underperforming car for the money. There are so many other front-wheel drive hatchbacks that are much better than a Mark 8 GTI is. And yes, the Golf R is cool, but they have literally nothing else besides that, in my opinion. And they're going electric with like 50 different cars too. In my opinion, Volkswagen unfortunately has hit the hay. Like, you know, again, everybody says modern BMWs suck. I think that they should be putting that hatred on a modern company to Volkswagen. At least BMW has options, and you can choose between what you want to buy, and they have tons of different cool cars. Volkswagen has one. 5th place is, we're getting there. We're getting up to, this is going to make some people upset because I see a lot of comments on my channel in particular of people being like, you should include more Jaguars, because I think that besides the XJ220, Jaguar has never really impressed me. I know they have a lot of cars. You know, they have a lot of performance cars. The F-Type is obviously the first one that pops into mind, but they had other things too, like the XESV or whatever that thing was called. They had the XKRs, obviously. Those were pretty popular. And then you had the, you had those XJ8s. What were those things called? Those I do like. I do think those kind of looked cool, but performance-wise, I was never really impressed. The XJ220, yeah, that's an amazing car. I freaking love the XJ220. I saw one in real life. Those things are longer than you would think. They might as well be a limousine. But every other car besides that, I've never been like, wow, I love that. Even seeing them in real life. Like, I've seen tons of F-Types in real life, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, kind of cool. I would rather own a Corvette. I'd rather own an M car. I'd rather own an Aston Martin. Like, I just don't necessarily get any of the hype behind Jaguar whatsoever. And they're unreliable as hell, too. They suck in reliability. 4th place, oh boy. Guys, you might have to start getting butt cheeks naked on this one. You might be going commando with shorts on this one, because we're getting into the real hot takes here. Like, we just went from we just took a big old leap. We're playing Mario, Super Mario Brothers here, and leaping. Because I think that the Porsche Cayman is a cooler car than the Porsche 911. Oh boy. Oh boy. The Porsche 911 is probably like the #1 enthusiast car out there. Like, almost every car enthusiast knows a Porsche 911 is just a great sports car. There's nothing wrong with them, right? And I agree with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with Porsche 911s, but I like the Porsche Caymans better. I think they're just so much cooler. They just fit my bill so much better. They're just so much, they're lighter. They just are so much more grippy, and they look, in my opinion, slightly cooler. Like a GT4 Cayman, give me that. Give me that, but you show me a GT3 911, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'll take it for sure. Don't get me wrong, I want one, definitely, but I'm not writing home about it. With the Cayman, I'm not only am I writing home, I'm writing to our newly elected president, Donald Trump, and saying, hello, sir, I just got myself a Porsche Cayman. I would be so excited with that. But breaking its way into 3rd place, the bronze medal, the old copper, if you will. Also, I know I just mentioned the whole Donald Trump thing. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments. Don't get too political, though, for the love of God. I do not care about politics at all. So if you guys start arguing in the comments about politics, I'm going to come to your house, take a big old steaming hot turd on your doorstep, and then clean it up because I'm a nice citizen and I feel bad for doing it. But I'm going to let you know I did it. I'm going to let you know. The third place is that Bugatti is just boring. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about this. I don't like Bugattis. The one thing that Bugatti has going for them is the fact that they have really good top speeds. That's cool and all, and it's a cool number to flash around, and it's cool to watch YouTube videos on it and stuff like that. But overall, I could not care less about top speed of a car. Like, that's something that like 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-olds care about, not somebody who's actually driven cars and realized, wow, top speed means quite literally nothing if your car takes forever to get there and forever to slow down from it. And that is exactly how it is with Bugattis. They're not good at accelerating, they're heavy, they're not good at braking, they can't handle it all. A Bugatti Veyron, which I know is an old car, don't get me wrong, but it's a 1-point-something million hypercar. It should be really good on a track, right? It still gets beat by an FK8 Civic Type R around the Nürburgring. That is just not cool to me at all. I'd much rather have a Koenigsegg. Second place, however, and again, this is a very hot take because I don't see a soul out there ever talking about these brands, but that is that Lotus and Aston Martin are some of the coolest car brands of all time. I think Lotus has never once missed. I don't think that... yes, they made their EV hypercar thing there. I forget what that's called. They have the weirdest names. Aviha? Is that what it was? EVIGA? I think it was. Either way, that one was, yeah, definitely a little bit disappointing because it's EV and nobody wants an EV. But at the same time, Lotus has made every single car a beast. I love them, and they're exactly what I like too. Lightweight little sports cars that can handle amazingly, rear wheel drive. They look good. They're awesome. I love Lotuses. And then Aston Martin is pretty much exactly the same way. Aston Martin, though, I will say has missed a couple of times. They've made some questionable decisions for sure, but for the most part, Aston Martin almost always just hits the spot. The only bad part about these two brands is their reliability, of course, but I feel like if you're buying a Lotus or an Aston Martin, you already know about their reliability because, again, it's not like a car brand where like everybody in the community know. They're not like overrated, you know. You have to be like a pretty big car guy to like actually appreciate these brands. And so if you do go to buy one, chances are you already know about the reliability issues that they have, and so you probably have a daily driver, and it's not that big a deal for you. Honorable mention time, ladies and gentlemen, because I just wanted to talk about this car really quick, and I didn't really feel like it belonged on the regular list because it's really not that hot of a take. It's just a personal opinion that's just like, okay. And that is that the BMW E24 is one of the most underrated cars of all time. These things were absolute motorsport legends. They did really, really good in motorsports. They looked absolutely incredible. They're one of the best looking BMWs of all time. In my opinion, and I know I'm going to get some slack for saying this, I would rather own an M6 E24. I know that we can't own that in America, unfortunately, but I would rather own that than an E30 M3. But of course, in case you're new to this world, the way that lists works is that we end on number one, and that's the hottest of the takes, and that is today that McLaren is cooler than Ferraris and Lamborghinis. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I stand by that. I think that McLaren as a car brand nowadays, at least nowadays, makes cooler cars than Ferrari and Lamborghini does. Maybe back in the day because they weren't really that big of a company back then. They had the F1, which obviously broke records and is a legend. It's one of the most legendary cars of all time, don't get me wrong. But besides the F1, I mean, what did they have back then? You know, they had nothing. So yeah, back in the day, sure, liking Ferraris or liking Lamborghinis over McLaren, that makes sense. But nowadays, now that McLaren is like a reputable supercar brand, like people know about the McLaren and they are a household name at this point, I'd rather own a McLaren over any, like, I would rather own like, if I had to have a modern supercar, I would much rather own a 765 LT over an Aventador, over a SF90, or a Huracan, or whatever other 458 Italia, 488 Pista, whatever the heck the Ferrari's making and Lamborghini's making. I would rather own a McLaren. I think the 765 LTs, 675 LTs, those are unbelievable cars. The P1 is one of the most beautiful cars ever built. The Senna is, in my opinion, not my personal taste in terms of looks. I don't really care for the looks, but its performance is unmatched. The Speedtail, again, I don't really care for its looks too much, but it definitely has some insane performance to back it up. The Sabre is a car that looks like it's straight out of Split Second. Do you guys remember that video game Split Second? The Sabre looks like a car out of that game. The McLarens are just unbelievable nowadays, and in my opinion, they're much better than Ferraris and Lamborghinis are. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what other videos you'd like to see in the comment section down below. And guess what I just realized? I didn't get the background footage for this video yet, and I was really hoping that I could, like, you know, film this video, edit it, upload it, go back to playing some old Call of Duty. But I'm not gonna be able to do that now because now I have to get the background footage, and I'm really upset about that. I'm probably just gonna film a second video and then edit this video like tomorrow or something so that I have time to play COD. But then it's like, I don't know if I don't know. We'll figure it out. Obviously, you guys will be seeing this video. Either you're seeing this video November 6th or you're seeing this video November 9th. No, yeah, 8th. Either November 6th or November 8th is the day that you're going to be seeing this video. But either way, though, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. And das vidanya. Have a nice... No, I'm not saying it just yet because I did want to reiterate. I kind of glanced over it really quickly, but I want to reiterate it, make it very crystal clear. Okay, look at this. I got my glasses. That's how clear I want to make this. I can see everything right now. I can see my brother's thoughts upstairs, okay? I can see everything. They're kind of gross. That's disgusting at him. But I can see everything. And I want to make this crystal clear. If you're going to talk about politics and what happened with the presidential elections last night, that's great. Go for it. If you guys start arguing about it, though, I'll probably have to delete the comments. I don't want this channel to have anything to do with politics. I don't want it to be tied to that absolutely at all. I don't care about your political beliefs, man. Do you like cars? I like you. Okay, that's all that matters. I don't care if you voted for Kamala. I don't care if you voted for Trump. I don't care if you voted for Jill Stein. I don't care if you voted for freaking the fly that keeps buzzing around in your windowsill. I don't care who you voted for. I don't want to hear it in the comments, man. Okay? You can talk about the presidential election all you want, but don't bring up the whole... Don't put your personal opinions into it, is what I'm trying to get at, okay? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Das vidanya. Have a nice night.